Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Depends where you're going to be the time for you listening to this call. And welcome to my second interview conversation, and it's happening with Carrie Lemlin. And I welcome all of you to this call. Uh, and before we introduce Carrie to you, just give you a little bit of my background. My name is Joseph Boutros Agapi. Usually, I used to be called Gabi as a last name, and I'm 35 years numerologist, healer. I've done healing into the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual aspect, and now I'm doing healings through art. So this is where my latest new career going through art and the healing and today is not about me anyway, so let's introduce you to Carrie, and let me let you know a little bit about her before she comes in. And Carrie Lemlin is a psychosomatic numerologist, empowerment coach, and healer. Psychosomatic numerology combines the insight of numerology with the psychosomatic imprint found in the energy centers chakra of your body. We discover the relationship with our emotion, our mind, and our body in conjunction with illnesses and disease. Carrie missions is to empower you to find your untapped potential and mastery to heal and thrive. Carrie is a psychosomatic numerologist and holds a master degree in entrepreneurial thinking and innovative practices in Bay Path University, a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a marketing concentration from Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts. Carrie, I'd like to welcome you to our conversation today, and I'm happy to see you today with me on this call.
Joseph, it is my honor to be here today with you, my spiritual mentor. I am so honored to be here. Thank you for that very nice introduction.
My pleasure. So I understand you studied psychosomatic and numerology with me, and you've been from day one when I met you. I remember your excitement even coming to Vancouver for my event at that time. It was like, oh, I'm talking to the guy who does numerology himself, kind of. Oh, it's like you scared me at that time. So, but it was interesting seeing you and how enthusiastic you were about the subject eventually, and how excited you were about it. And it's a fresh air in a sense of it. And so now you've been playing and practicing and working with numerology and psychosomatic numerology. How is your feeling about numerology? And I would like to bridge it this time from 3D and moving to 5D even. But we're gonna at least bring it now from 3D, where people, they used to recognize the vibration, and where we got stuck eventually in the emotions.
What a wonderful question. So I believe that we met as a result of soul agreements that you and I had, because my foundation began many, many years ago as a young woman. I had my first spiritual experience when I was 19 years old. And my 19-year, what happened is my first close family member was my grandmother. My loving maternal grandmother had passed away, and I did not take it well at all. So what ended up happening is she came to me 3 days after she passed in a dream. And it was the beginning of my opening as a spiritual being called to my path. My grandmother and I sat in her living room, perfectly quiet, which was not like her living room at all. But we were sitting down having a conversation. I told her how much I loved her and how much I missed her. And she told me at that moment that she had no more pain. My grandmother had suffered for most of her adult life with rheumatoid arthritis. She never complained. She was the sweetest, most wonderful woman, and she was a master number. She was a 22-4. Just a little aside. However, what she did say at that moment opened my eyes because I was never looking at the world according to her. I was looking at the world from my perspective as a physical being who had a loss. I realized at that moment that she was spiritual and eternal. She told me she would be there whenever I wanted and that we could talk whenever we wanted and that she had no more pain. And my eyes opened. I began this journey of spiritual awakening. From that moment on, I was never afraid to die. And I would remember things like past lives and things that would open up. So when I found your book and your interview on a podcast, I was immediately compelled to buy your book. And it was like a reawakening where numerology made perfect sense. And it was like I had done it before, and I believe I have. And your whole perspective made everything clear. It was like a deja vu moment. So you talked about 3D into 5D. I believe right now that we are the vibration on this planet. As spiritual beings, we are here on the physical plane, and we're here for growth. However, growth doesn't have to be hard. And what we forget when we come as physical beings is we forget our past by design. And what numerology does, and I'll get to psychosomatics in a minute, but numerology gives us our blueprint. It gives us a linear, logical way to identify why we're here, what's our purpose, what we're doing, what our challenges are, what karma came in. And the more and more and more we do this, what happens is it just validates what we already know. So as the vibration is going up, psychosomatics has to do with the body-mind connection. Nothing in this planet is not without reason. And what happens is we have emotions, unexpressed emotions, and physical things that show up on our body. And the numerology and the psychosomatics go together. And when you can release and you can live your best life with total ease, and it is possible, then we can elevate ourselves to move with ease into the fifth dimension, to move into 5D. It's about letting go what no longer serves us and to remember who we are. Did I answer your question?
That's a very good way of describing it eventually. So it is to the point to where we have a good thing happening around us these days. And as I started yesterday the training for the New Frontier Healer, which is a certification for numerology, which I feel now is the time to step it up to a next level of it, which is to bring it to the 5D, but really in a different concentrating ways of looking at the 5D from all different perspectives that we never looked at in the past. Because remember, for the ones who doesn't know what's the 3D, 5D, let me just quickly run about with them. The 3D is the heavy density we've been living all our life, for not this lifetime, for many lifetimes, where we got programmed. Even when we woke up into this world, we don't even recall anything of our past, and that was there was a reason for it. We never remembered anything because we were controlled somehow. We're not, without branching out from the subject, now we have the opportunity to grow further away into the 5D and liberate our energy field, take ourselves out of the density. And today, personally, to me, this is my own personal point of view on that, healing is becoming not 100% necessary unless you still want to stay in it because of an addiction to it. But it's not anymore needed, because if you are going to 5D, anything when 3D is irrelevant there. So just the hardest part for everybody now is to lift that density up. And that's where you're going to be doing a great work through the numerology, is to bring people up, not to go into their own stuff even.
Absolutely, Joseph. I believe that we are here by design at this moment. So we are here. It is, people think it's synchronicity. It's you are in the right place at the right time. And
Yes.
we chose this physical environment, and we chose the density. We chose the emotions and the feelings and the parents that we have by design, so that
Yes.
we could elevate and to rejuvenate the planet, and that we're here for a reason.
Yes, and we're here now is not only before, when I did the big picture of map that draws that we have the soul agreement with our parents and worst nightmare, if you remember that map, and then with the relationship, but then we have the map into the new you. And that's where we need to open now for all of us, because we all coming to serve into humanity in one way or another. But how much are you willing to start serving? And I'm going to emphasize into my teaching into the New Frontier Healer that we start yesterday, that it is now important to get back to that old chart in order to start elevate people, instead of going into their what happened with your mom, what happened with your dad. Let's see the feeling, let's feel the feeling. I used to feel the feeling for all my previous calls, but now it's not important. Why I need to feel the feeling, waste my time there, if I can start using the elevator to get me to the 5D, and I can drop everything below. So, and now in what you looking into the 5D now, you start, many people, they're probably telling you all the time, they're seeing 111, 222, 455, whatever those numbers are. So in your opinion, from your own intuitive way of looking at it, what these numbers represent to you?
Perfect question. It happens all the time. When anybody finds out that I'm a numerologist, they want to talk about the numbers, and they want to talk about the patterns of numbers, because that's exactly what it is. It's patterns, and it's meant by design to get you to pay attention. Remember, as human beings, we spend most of our time, those of us that fall into this trap, we're either in the future, afraid of what's going to happen or not going to happen, or the past, regretting what just happened. And the fact is, the present is where our power is, and it's where we live. It's where everything happens. So when you see something in this moment, 222, 333, 444, 1010, 1234, it's meant to get you to pay attention. It's a reminder that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. What I love to talk to people about is who we are. Who we are is not the physical body. We inhabit our physical body. Our physical body is our temple, and it deserves to be respected and honored. However, the part of us, that is connected to our higher self, which is our soul, which is connected, I believe, to our source, is eternal. And that's where eternity is who we are. When we get caught up in our monkey minds with our ego, it's here in the physical plane, and it's a distraction.
Yeah.
And it's meant to distract us. When we remember who we are and we step back from the chaos, when we step back from the thoughts or fears about the future, or listening to the media, or getting caught up in other scenarios, we are not in alignment with our greatest and highest good.
Yes, that's definitely the case. And even in partnering with God, my recent event, I call the body is like your car rental. You're renting this body for this lifetime, but you still can change the body if you want to change it, because it's everything is about your spiritual side, because we never recognize our spiritual affinity with our soul, that we are here serving the soul being here. Unfortunately, we got big whack around us when we get into our childhood experiences, and we have to go through dramatic experiences, but we've been doing it for lifetime after lifetime because we are recycled here, keep coming, doing the same experience. But as a numerologist for yourself is to bring the attention to someone to help them see the bigger picture of it.
And I believe absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And where we get caught up, and as much as you don't like to focus, I talk about and I break down the difference between feelings and emotions, right? When we feel something, we feel it, right? So you feel it all of a sudden and it gets your attention. Like the numbers 111, 222. It gets your attention. But then what happens in most cases is people make it mean something and they go up here in your head. And then you remember a past experience when you were 3 years old and something happened. And part of our liberation is to be able to go back and let go of this subconscious that's been programmed, that happens automatically. If we can bring it to the conscious level in order to clear it and to re-establish our point of view and what's important, that's what this is all about. And that's where I say it doesn't have to be hard. So many times people get caught up in I call it the hamster wheel. And it keeps going on, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. They have no power, they're mad, they're angry, they're sad, they're regretful. And they're just caught in this cycle. And it doesn't have to be that way.
Yes, and just want to give you one thing about, because when you explain about the 111, 222, you're very good with that. But as you know, I come back from a healing aspect to anything, So if you see, for example, I'm not gonna go through the whole numbers, but I'll be teaching it in my program this year. If you have the 111 from a healing perspective, and we're not doing healing, as I said, we're going to 5D. It's not important. So you need to see 111. What's the common number here is 1. What 1 refer to? To awaken your leadership.
Absolutely. It's leadership. It's setting a course. It's going forward.
And then when you have 111, that's means 1 plus 1 is 2. And 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1 plus 1 equal to 3. So that means you have to look after the 1, 2, and 3. From a healing perspective, but not into the healing, into elevating your energy to bypass those hurdles of those numbers. But into elevating.
And to your point, Joseph, I remember this lesson very well, is certain numbers play well together. So 1s and 2s, and you know what they mean is all things that have to do with leadership, and 2s are about stepping back and not being a leader. It's about being aware of the emotions, but it's also being a co-pilot and going to tremendous lengths to create peace and being able to do that.
Big time. And now if somebody came to you and said, how can you help me with whatever you do? What will be your first instinct to it?
The blueprint in getting the numerology right is the opening. There's 2 major aspects to your chart. And I've actually, I have an example here of my own chart, but I don't have to show it. But what it is basically is the day that you were born. That is an assigned time. It is your spirit coming and making an agreement. So it says spiritually what you're here for, what your challenges are, what cycle you're in. And then the second major aspect is your expression, the name you go by. Now, this can be mutable. And this can be where a lot of disconnect can happen because it's how you express yourself and how the world also perceives you. And sometimes we are in misalignment. And I spend an awful lot of time with my clients understanding the names that they use and who they are and what they want to present. Because when you are in alignment, it's simple, easy, effortless.
Yes, and I don't know if you noticed it already, but from my experience in 35 years doing chart for people, I'm almost retired into doing that. So this is why I'm passing it all to you guys. But in my 35 years doing thousands and thousands of charts, I never saw two charts the same. That means every person that comes to you, you have to treat them differently than anybody else because they're unique to their own individual vibration.
I'd love to elaborate on that too, because I like to use the analogy of like spaghetti sauce, where each individual number is in there and it creates your individual self. So we look at what numbers are there and what numbers are not there. And then there's this magnetic attraction between what you have and what you don't have and who you bring into your life and what you want to do with your life.
Mm-hmm. Like for me, I used to call it a long time ago, 35 years ago, a coding, because I came from electrical engineering background and computer science. We use the code 0 and 1 everywhere. So I used to put the coding of your vibration as sitting into those coding. Then I changed that subject because I want to get out from the too logical way of thinking. So I completely switch it. But what's important that you all have to look at it from what emotion that might bring to you and how stuck you become into the emotions. Because numerology, from my perspective, that's why I called it blueprint numerology, is on a specific rhythm to it, because it is about not predicting the future of somebody, is basically help them or assist them in seeing where they've been stuck in a feeling. That refer to that vibration that they are missing in their chart.
Yes, and where they're stuck. And so many times after doing charts, one of the first reactions that I'll get is that people say, I knew that. I knew that about myself. And I say, yes, but are you using it? And here's where, so it's like, this is validation of who you are and where you're stuck. And whenever somebody calls after, I always bring their chart up because I can see exactly where, because it's written. It's all right there. It's all easy to understand. So,
and the funny part, I want to add you to that. The funny part to that people are really well knowing well and adjusted well to their negative side, and they have no clue about their positive.
It's so funny when you say that because I always start on the positive side, but whenever I do, I'll say there's a positive to a number, there's a negative to the number, and there's a critical. And it's your choice. The number is your number. It's just how you're looking at it. And if you like what it says on the positive side and you're in your -3, guess what? It's your free will. 3 is 3.
And that's where it is. So now how can you bridge those numbers and bring them into the psychosomatic then?
So the psychosomatics, and I have this really nice chart, and I am going to show you with it. So the energy centers, we all have energy centers in our chakras. And there is alignment between the numerology and your physical chakras. And I created this chart in alignment with, let me share this chart. first I want to show you this presentation real quick. So this is the slide that shows that every letter has a number. Every letter has a number and every frequency, and we can get really deep into it. The first line is simple and then it goes deeper and deeper, but each letter has a number. Each color, each feeling, each sound is all energy. And if we could start to identify the energy that's around us, the life that is completely surrounding us, everything on this planet is alive and has energy. And in numbers, there is a vibration that correlates. So that's why numerology makes so much sense, because it correlates to who you are with your date of birth and your expression. Now, the slide I wanted to show you is this slide. This is all in alignment. This shows your numerology vibration on the right-hand side in alignment with your chakras. So when you have something, and I do numerology and I calculate, like this afternoon, I'd like to do a meditation that I downloaded about being free, and it is called the I Am Free meditation. What's important to understand is when you do the calculation of the I Am Free meditation, it comes out to 1-4/5, which is a karmic number, which is all about freedom. When you start understanding the numerology and where it sits in your physical body, typically when people come in with karma, that means that they're here to experience it from a different point of view. If they come in with a 14-5, it's because they want to experience freedom. They may be feeling trapped. They may be feeling a victim of their circumstances, and they want adventure. And some of them, you start talking about freedom or the lack thereof, they're like, how do you know that about me? It's so clear. But when you're talking about 14-5, we're talking about the crown chakra. Number 1 is here, and it's about your confidence and your independence. Think about it. If you're not feeling free, you're not independent. Your energy is blocked here. When you go to the 4, it has to do with your root chakra, which is all about your stability. If you're not on solid ground, you don't feel like you can step forward and move forward. And then, of course, the 5 is all about freedom and expansion, which is in your sacral chakra, which is below your belly button, which is where everything happens when we create babies and all this. This is where we generate our next generation. So when you start aligning the chakras with the numerology, it makes perfect sense.
It does. It does. A lot of things that it's like you're bridging the logical mind and you with the body and allowing yourself to see a bigger picture than you ever seen it before. And if the way you said it, you put your 1 is here and your root chakra is a 4, that's mean if this is blocked here, which is your connection to your soul, and your physical is all over the place, that's mean definitely you're not free of anything. You've been obliged of what's going on in each chakra of baggages. So you're not free. You're not completely illuminated, because illuminating yourself to see the connection, your alignment. But that's changing at this point. This is where the good news for everybody now to understand that all of us, especially this year, and if you don't make the changes this year, because it's going to be open to everybody, and many of us are experiencing headaches, Many are experiencing physical symptoms, throwing up. Many of us experiencing many different traumatic ways of having whatever it is we're having. But that's all, remember, put it in your head, it's temporary. The least you resist it, it passes.
The lack of sleep too. A lot of sleepless nights. It's the vibrations are changing. I mean, even in
Yes.
the month of April, we're talking about from a numerology perspective, 4 is about establishing and building and getting organized and building on a foundation and learning by doing. We've got a lot of changes coming, and we have an eclipse that's going to be coming, and we're also going to be going into backward retrograde on planet Mercury in particular. So there's going to be technology that's not going to be working, and things we're going to have the opportunity to start looking at things again, things that are no longer serving us, and we get to make a choice. We get to weed out what no longer serves us and to keep moving forward in the areas that are in our highest good.
Yes, and there is one advice I can give from that. Do your best to clear up everything and snap out of it. Move you from your density you're sitting in, and jump in when the opportunity arises to you and arrive to your doorstep to do it. Don't be afraid of it, because you're gonna get much more reward doing it, rather than wait till next year. Next year is gonna be a tough year. It's an 8 year. And 8 in normal numerology terms is karmic. That means anything you've been resisting it for centuries, even, it might all show up in your face. Now, when you service people now, you don't have to service them from the lower vibration anymore. You have to uplift them to your vibration. So the practitioners, they need to be elevated themselves first, but don't go down with any of your client anymore. It's not necessary, because you're wasting time.
You're absolutely right, Joseph, and you're going to see in the meditation that I'm going to be doing shortly about the I am free, is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be connecting to our higher self. So we're going to be reaching up ourselves and connecting. So as spiritual beings, we have to understand that we are connected to our higher self, which is our soul. And our soul is eternal. We have a portion of our soul that's in this physical body, because our soul is so big, it can't fit in this physical body. So we have blinders on, but when we start the dialogue with our higher self and we're open to the power and the energy that's available by making that connection, healing is absolutely powerful and possible. It's just a matter of being in alignment and understanding the power that is there. So I too, like you, I am the instrument that helps people with their emotional as well as their physical healing. And this has been a journey. I'm not the healer. What I do is I'm the conduit. I bring them to their higher self. Okay? I am in alignment with that, but I'm not the person that's healing. They are healing themselves. So it is all possible, and your belief is absolutely imperative.
So show us and let us feel your meditation.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share, I have a little screen in the background that I'm going to share here. Go back. And here's my little meditation screen, and I am going to get started. All right. So what we're going to do now is I would like you to take your dominant arm and reach up as high as you possibly can and take a deep breath in and allow yourself to connect to your higher self. And when you allow yourself to relax, when you feel the tingle in your feelings, in the fingers, allow the connection with your higher self to come down through the top of your head and fill your body. You can take your arm down when you feel it. Take a deep breath in and hold it and blow it out completely. Now that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, we're going to do the I am free meditation, which is about being able to free yourself from any situation when your day is not going well and you're being stopped by any emotions that are depleting your energy. I want you to realize that you have the power in your breath to turn your day around. So what we're going to do now is we're going to breathe in to the count of 4. We're going to hold it for the count of 4. And we're going to breathe out for the count of 6. Now the reason we are doing this is because we as physical beings are lousy breathers. We don't breathe fully and properly. So we're going to breathe in, we're going to hold it, and then we're going to continuously breathe out for a longer period of time so that when we breathe in again, it's going to be taking this energy and vitality. The other thing that I want you to do is to envision when you're breathing in is to feel that white light filling your body. When you're holding your breath, I want you to imagine that this white light is filling every cell in your physical body and negating any negativity that's there. And when you breathe out, I want you to expel all that negativity and start the cycle again. Are you ready? Let's begin. Reach your arm up with your dominant hand. Connect to your higher self and allow the light and the energy to flow through your chakras into your physical body. And we're going to start now by breathing in 2, 3, 4, holding 2, 3, 4, breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in with the light 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, last one, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. Take a deep breath in and hold it and feel the energy pulsing throughout your physical body and blow it out completely. On your next breath in, I want you to feel yourself lifting up and floating off the physical plane and holding with this lightness and this energy that's negating any negative energy in your body and blowing it out completely. And one last time, take a deep breath in and go up higher and higher. And hold your breath and feel the lightness of your energy and the transformation, and blow it out completely. And as you blow out your breath completely, I want you to gently touch back down onto the physical plane. I want you to move your hands and feet and take 1 or 2 deep breaths. And I want you to feel rejuvenated and open your eyes when you're ready. How did that make you feel? The purpose of this freedom meditation is to allow you to change the trajectory of your day and neutralize the energy that was caught up in your body and to let it go. And by having that feeling of floating, being able to float and be free. How did that feel, Joseph? Oh, you gotta unmute yourself.
I don't know which planet I went to, but it was interesting point of view from there, you know.
Yes.
So thank you for the meditation.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes.
And I never received meditation from, usually I'm always the one giving the meditation. So, you know, I'm rarely taking meditation from, I don't do meditation usually, I do it walking. But thank you for the meditation. I feel everybody will benefit when they listen to the recording later on. For that, it could be beneficial. And I do advise people to put something that you like to tap into, and you'll get it now. It's much easier, you know.
The energy is available, and it
Yeah.
all begins with the numerology. It starts with the blueprint. It's the door to open up, it's the conversation, depending on where you want to take it. I mean, many of the courses that I offer, I'm offering things about understanding your numerology. So, in other words, taking a deep dive into yours if you want to learn about that. Or awakening your spirituality. So, the journey of spiritual awakening is a program that I offer. Usually it's all after we start with the numerology and then we take it to the next level. Or healing
Yes.
through art, having the ability to heal and to let things go by being creative, whether it's singing, dancing, painting, drawing, writing, it doesn't matter. It's about
Hmm.
being and tapping into that creative element that you have and being able to do that is it's my pleasure to be
It
able
is,
to.
it is, it is that way. As long as you are willing and ready to drop searching on the bottom and start discovering the top.
Yes.
What's in it for you moving forward? Drop me the bottom because the bottom is not gonna suit anything anymore for anybody, but we can take from what we had from the bottom and allow ourselves to forgive ourselves, but that bridging between the bottom and the higher, your blueprint numerology will come exactly in the right fit, and it can give you the clarity that we all need. So how somebody working with you will be able to do that
So
with
to be
you?
able to do that, this is the start. This is the beginning. This is the chart. This is the entire chart. This is what we look at. We look at each and every number. We add them together. We look for karma. We look at the numbers that you have. We can tell how you make decisions. We can coach you on what's there, what you need to get over, what your challenges are in life. How, what cycle of life are you in? This is an example of the full chart. This happens to be my chart. So this is just an example of where you are, where numbers repeat, where numbers are missing. We look for instance, in my chart, my challenges are 6066. Three numbers, the same number repeating three different times. As an old soul, this is something I am working on. This is something I am here. This is my challenge about the balance of male and female energy. It's about being responsible but not taking responsibility for others. This has been a challenge for me. Joseph, you know that? It's been something that I'm working on. I also know other people that have the same challenges, and it's different manifestations for different people. For,
Yes, and but the main one I want you to add, just for you to hear it, maybe there's something in it for you too,
thank you.
is to take ownership and taking personal responsibility. That's a major thing in the six.
Taking personal responsibility, absolutely. Taking responsibility for your actions and also not taking responsibility for others and not allowing them not to take their own responsibility, right? So owning it for
Yeah.
them as opposed to doing it for yourself, because if you're focusing on someone else, you're not doing it for yourself, to your
No,
point.
no. I mean, personal responsibility and ownership can solve all your healing
Mm-hmm.
completely. Because what we've been living in since you were born, you've been living into blaming everything on everybody. When the last time you took personal responsibility for an event that happened between you at a job, into your personal life, into your finances, into your relationship? When was the last time you take personal responsibility and takes that responsibility that I did something to make it happen?
Mm-hmm.
And even if it
Absolutely.
wasn't your fault,
Right.
take ownership of it.
It's the only way you are going to have power over your life. If you're blaming
Yes,
somebody else, you are giving your power away.
big time, big time.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, what ends up happening, and today, by the way, from a numerology perspective, is a six. So it's
It
for the
is.
month of four. 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, so it's 4 plus 4, and 2023, which is a 7. So that equates to a 6.
15.6, yeah.
15, 6. 1 plus 5 equals 6. So what I wanted to say is that I am offering a special for today. Normally, a full numerology chart is $99, and what I'm offering for today is a full numerology chart for 60 minutes at $66. That's a savings of $33. And the QR code to sign up on the website is right here. And I'm doing this on behalf of getting people started, just understanding their numerology, their blueprint, what's in it for them. It's a reminder of who they are and what they're here to do. So many people are feeling the need to do something and they're not sure. The energy is shifting. Things are happening around them. They're feeling powerless and they want to know what they need to do. The answers are here. It starts here.
Well, that's a steal, by the way, for a price. And take the opportunity. Sometimes we receive things that universe send us to listen to something because they're putting it in front of us for a reason. Sometimes you don't see the reason right now, but you might see it later on. And sometimes it will be so obvious to you, I have to be talking to Carrie and I need to do something about that, because she's not here by coincidence. She's not here by, she's here because she meant to be here for the ones who's supposed to listen to her.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Joseph. There was one last thing that I did want to leave everybody with. I wanted to leave everybody here. I want to thank you for showing up. And this is, I believe we're all here and we're light workers. We're here to shed the light. We're here for peace on earth. I've been saying this since I was a little kid, talking about helping people to be the best that they can be. Come to find out with my numerology, I'm a humanitarian. It's all about helping others. It's all here. So I'm going to leave you with a little something. I believe we're the light. And if we can do these 3 things on a daily basis, we will shift the vibration of our daily life. Number 1, say thank you for this day. I am dearly loved. We are so loved by our source and our soul. We are so loved exactly as we are. We come to this planet with human experience, which means we make mistakes and we have free will. And many times we make mistakes, and that's the best thing that could happen. Why? You make a mistake and you learn by your mistakes. Doesn't always have to be really hard, but you can learn by your mistakes. So if you start with gratitude, thank you for this day, I am dearly loved, it's going to transform the way your day begins. Number 2, this is not easy for everyone, but when you run into opposition anywhere, somebody cuts you off in traffic, somebody takes your place in line, somebody sends you something that gets you a little hooked, send love. What happens is by sending compassion and love to that person, it comes back tenfold. Thank you for showing me this. Thank you. I wish you well. I wish you gone, but I wish you well. Send them compassion. Send them love. And last but not least, 3 has to do with finding joy, bringing the things into your life on a daily basis that bring you joy and laughter, and allowing yourself the ability to be in that place. If it's gardening, if it's writing, if it's journaling, if it's meditation, whatever it is, finding joy every day. And you do this and your life is going to feel lighter and happier. And if you make a mistake, and you curse somebody because they cursed you, take it back, delete it, and then send them love. Because it all works.
That's a good advice. If everybody will follow that, they will have a more fulfilling life. But I'd like to also add to that, if you start using it also to your client, which is, it will help them to remove from the density
Yes.
that we all stuck in, which is give yourself the permission to forgive yourself.
We are so hard on ourselves, aren't we? We
Yeah.
are so hard on ourselves. We beat ourselves up. We wouldn't treat anybody else the same way, and we treat ourselves so poorly.
Yeah.
And if we
Yeah.
only knew how much we are dearly loved and supported by our angels, I believe in angels, I believe in our spirit guides that are from the light. I believe we are so surrounded by love and light that all we have to do is basically tap into it and share it with the world.
Yes, and I mean, it will complete the whole picture. It's time to start to forgive whatever happened, whatever you did, whatever's been done to you. It's time to forgive it and move on. And especially yourself, forgiving yourself is a key to elevate you from the density. It's giving you the freedom,
It's,
and forgiveness is a 6, by the way. So,
it is. I love that.
so it will help.
Thank you,
So
my
thank you,
friend.
Karen, for being here today, and thank you for I do advise everybody to use Carrie's offer, a generous offer eventually, and if you can put it on the screen for them to scan it if somebody is interested into it, and I think it's an opportunity for us to raise more our vibration is by understanding ourselves and who we are and where we come from, and it's stop enough of us keep centering our focus on our negative assets and start concentrating on our positive asset. And I believe Carrie can help you and guide you to go through that process in a very gentle kind of way possible. So do that, and welcome to humanity, because we have to get out of that density sooner or later. And it better be sooner than later.
It's your choice. It's your choice. You can do this hard, you can do this easy. We have free will, we have a choice, and now is the time. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being here, for agreeing to be here. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I honor
And
you today. Namaste.
all right.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.